So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to help celebrate our 10-year anniversary. Mayor Rawlings-Blake, thank you for being a part of our anniversary. Council President Jack Young, thank you for coming. Council members Costello, Spector, and Clark should be here. We have a number of city agency folks. First Deputy Mayor from the Mayor's Office, Colin Tarbert. Agency heads Bill Cole, Tom Stoser, William Johnson, Bill Gilmore, as well as so many partners from all the agencies that we work with, BDC, BOPA, Transportation, Rec and Parks. A great team of city partners. I also need to give a shout out to Andy Frank, who couldn't be here. He's out of town, out of the country today. And without his support at BDC way back 10 years ago, we wouldn't be here at all. He was a terrific city partner. And on the private side, we've had incredible support as well. Certainly the property owners who help pay our bills. Most of them are on our board members. I can't call you out each individually, but there are many of you here. Please raise your hands. Thank you for your support. Thanks go to you for guiding us and supporting us and funding our work. You've helped in huge and small ways with funding and with advice and guidance. And lots of sponsors. We have sponsors listed over here. I hope you'll take a minute to look. They've helped us create great events and programs, build parks, build an ice rink. We also couldn't achieve what we do without all of our sponsors. And without all of you, restaurateurs and engineers and architects and retailers, all have helped us accomplish terrific things over the last 10 years. And today's event sponsors, Ashkenazi, M&T, and Waterfront Marriott Hotel. Thank you for helping to sponsor this event. So from the beginning, our board wanted us to be lean and nimble as an organization, and we have been. And yet people tell us how much we accomplish, and they're so surprised when we talk about what a small staff we have. It's a phenomenal team of bright and creative and hardworking folks, and I want to make sure we recognize our fantastic staff who accomplish the work every day, 7 days a week. Sarah St. Clair, our marketing director. Lauren Maloney, events coordinator or events manager and project manager, both of whom also helped create this event today. Adam Lindquist, our Healthy Harbor manager, way up there, and next to him is Leanna Wetmore, who brings our Healthy Harbor initiative upstream, working with neighborhoods. And Michael Dean, our operations director, is probably helping to set up tables or chairs or making things work. Thanks, Michael. And our brand new accountant, Amber Chavis, is here just having started yesterday. So thank you to all of you. So 10 years. On your walk over here, many of you also saw how much has changed over the waterfront over the last 10 years. Certainly Four Seasons, the Legg Mason Tower weren't here 10 years ago. The View and Spinnaker Bay residential towers. The Mac or the Under Armour weren't here 10 years ago, and yet we all rely on those places all the time. Since 2005, the National Aquarium expanded, Maryland Science Center, and power plant. Whoops. We can't control the weather. We tried. We lost control about an hour ago. And so much has changed around the waterfront over the last 10 years. Job growth and increases in the accessible base along the waterfront, especially from Harbor East, have been dramatic. The growth has helped fuel a whole new neighborhood, 24/7, upscale, posh neighborhood in Baltimore, and help fuel growth in the city. What's less visible but even more astounding are the population trends along the waterfront. From 2000 to just 2010, waterfront neighborhoods saw a 56% increase in millennials. Those people aged 25 to 34, and a 50% jump in the population ages 18 to 24. And while those changes aren't as visible as the buildings, they're obvious when you see people walking to work and biking to work and jogging along the promenade after work. It's an incredible change that's creating a growing and thriving waterfront. What's also especially exciting is seeing an early trend of families staying and raising their kids here. Overall, waterfront neighborhoods saw a 40% increase in children up to the age of 4. And while we don't yet see that growth overall for children's ages 5 to 11, we are seeing it in certain neighborhoods like Federal Hill, Inner Harbor, Harbor East, and the Locust Point area. And remember, these are just numbers through 2010. We think we'll see a lot more when we see the numbers for up to 2015. And these all come thanks to work with University of Baltimore. So these trends drive much of our work, raising money for the Walter Sondheim Fountain, adding features to West Shore Park, building Pierce's Park, getting the ice rink back, and all of our events. They're very nice things to do, but they're all done for a reason, to fuel more locals coming to the harbor. We value the tourists, all 14 million of them that come every year, and we want to make the waterfront a place where locals come to all the time, not just when their relatives are here from out of town. We're aiming to create new reasons every year for locals to come back again and again. So that's why this location is so special. 10 years ago, this was a barren, dusty spot behind the Columbus Center. And Pierce's Park was built because the Downtown Baltimore Family Alliance came to us and said they needed more play space for their kids on the east side of the harbor. Working closely with the Flanagan family, Mahan Reichel and David Hess, Whitman Reckard as the engineer, we created a very unique and special play space that's filled during the day with workers eating their lunch, kids playing, and after work, parents socializing. It's created a new reason for people to come downtown to visit the waterfront and for families to locate and stay along the waterfront. In the coming year, we'll see an increase in investment in the original Inner Harbor. Mayor Rawlings-Blake has made an incredible capital commitment to the harbor for new bricks and light fixtures and benches and rash fields. So in the coming 5 years, we'll see even more capital investment in the harbor, and also on the private side. Harbor Place, we'll be looking forward to seeing renovated, new residential tower on Light Street and 300 East Pratt coming alive. So it's been an incredible 10 years, and we're looking forward to topping the last 10 years with your support for the next 10 years. So thank you. So any nonprofit organization is lucky to find a chairman who's committed to their cause, dedicated to assisting behind the scenes, chairing meetings, and helping day in and day out. Very few, though, are fortunate enough to find a board chair who's willing to stay committed, work day in and day out, committed to the cause for 10 years. Actually, it's more than 10 years. So we're extremely fortunate that we have Mike Hankin chairing our board. He helped get us started 11 years ago, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute or two. But I would say Mike is even more passionate today about the waterfront and the work we're doing than he was 10 years ago. Please welcome our chairman, Mike Hankin.
So it's really exciting to be here, and when I think about the fact that we are here and where we are and who's standing around us, there are a lot of things I think about it, and a lot of experience I think about that I've had over the last 12 years working on this project. But I have to begin with thinking about Pierce Flanagan, who was one of the original board members of the Waterfront Partnership. And Pierce came to every meeting, and he was very motivational because there were many people in the original board, including myself, who don't live in the city but work in the city. And having Pierce on the committee reminded us about our responsibility as a business citizen of the city, not just thinking about those citizens who live here, and the responsibility that we have to do something about where we work and help make it better. And for me personally, that's what this effort has been. There are a ton of people to thank, and Laurie has thanked most of them, and it's interesting. I look around the audience, and there are people from Rusty Scupper to the Science Center to Harbor Place, good to see you, Heather, all the way to the aquarium, all the way around through H&S to our building, T-Row, and so forth. It really has been an incredible team effort, which has resulted in just how pleasant it is today. And as you look around us, you see things that many of us take for granted today. This place is much, much different than it was 12 years ago. It'd be hard to find a piece of trash on the ground from our building at Bond Street Wharf to Rusty Scupper. It'd be hard to ignore the more than 30 green spaces that exist today and that the partnership is responsible for taking care of. And it's incredible to look at the number of joggers that go by. When we first started, I said to a couple of people, and I wish we'd done this month after month, if you just put on a graph, the number of people jogging between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. each day, and track that over the last 12 years, and it goes right up. I mean, last week, Laurie sat and counted it because we needed it for a meeting, and there were 164 people between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. And what does that mean? That means that there are people who live down here because they're going to jog and go home. It means there are people that work down here, they work all day, change at their place, and get out there and run. And it means that people feel comfortable running around the city. And it's an amazing statement. It's one of those things that that economists would point to as one single data point that you could say represents evidence of the health of the city. So there are so many things that are working well, and I won't go into each of them. You know, things that stand out are just, I'll close with is, after we got done creating the partnership and the management authority with the support of the mayor, tremendous support, we then turned our effort to the water. And the water wheel's over there. John Kelt's around here somewhere who designed it. It's amazing. April to December took out 150 tons at 10% of the cost that the city was incurring to do so before. And I think the YouTube hits are something like $1.2 million now, including, here's an incredible number, 80,000 in Japan. 80,000 people in Japan have watched that YouTube, and all over this country. And what it represents is a fascination with a successful device to deal with trash in the water. And it represents just evidence of how interested people are in solving this. So we're dead committed to improving it. And fortunately, the mayor stood with me in 2010 and set a goal to clean it up by 2020. I think she said she was going to jump in there with me, but she, and the very last thing is that, and I said this to the mayor earlier, that what people don't think about enough is what a successful public-private partnership this institution is. And it happens throughout the city that there are people every week that meet to make this place better, from the city, from the state, and from private sector and nonprofits. And it's just an amazing thing. It's one thing that I think might not be unique to Baltimore, but it certainly is as healthy in Baltimore as anywhere in the country. The leader and head representative of the public sector is Mayor Stephanie Rawlings-Blake, and we couldn't ask for a better partner. When we need help, all we need to do is call. And I think that's all the introduction this mayor needs. Thank you very much.
All right, to my friends to my right, I promise you, if you get closer, the bar will not close. I promise you. Let's squeeze in. Let's be see, there we go. Let's be family. Then you'll be able to actually hear what's going on, right? All right. Mike, thank you so much for the kind introduction. Thank you for all of your hard work over these years. I want to thank all the members of my team who are here. I know that we have Councilman Costello. Where did he go? Eric Costello. He's here. Give him a hand. I have members of my team, including Deputy Mayor Colin Tarbert, Baltimore Office of Promotion and Arts Executive Director Bill Gilmore, BDC President and CEO Bill Cole, Planning Director Tom Stoser. We can give them all a big hand. And I saw Mackenzie and Marianne squeeze in there. Thank you very much. On my economic development team, I want to thank all of you for working so hard on behalf of the city. All right, so Laurie said everything I needed to say. And what she didn't say, Hankin said it. So I'll just say this. I was over there a second ago, and someone asked Mike how long he'd been on the board and said, weren't you one of the founding members? He said, yes, I was the original pain in the, you know what the other word is. And I laughed when he said it, but I have to say, I know what you meant when you said that. You push. You push because you want excellence. You want excellence for this city that you've invested in. And as a public servant, I consider myself blessed to have pain in the, like you, who are willing not just to talk about it and complain and point out problems, but you work with us to fix them. And I think any person that is in my position would be equally blessed. You know, any mayor around the country would be equally blessed to have a business leader like you who was there to push and to partner. And because of your willingness to push and to partner for all of these years, and all of the staff and the members of the board of the Waterfront Partnership, our city is being transformed day after day after day. You would have to intentionally walk around with your eyes closed, not to see the progress that we're making. And if you can't see it, let's just say you couldn't see it, you can feel it, because everybody can. Everyone sees that Baltimore is a city on the move. We are the 4th fastest growing city for millennials. And they don't pick millennials aren't picking places that they think are, on the downturn. They're picking places that they think have a possibility for growth. And it's because of this work that we're doing in the most visible part of our city that is really helping to spur our reputation. So I want to thank each and every one of you, particularly all of the staff people that are on the ground doing the work every single day. I made a commitment to you to work together in this true public-private partnership. I did not commit to jump in the water. And only because Lori suggested that I wear a bikini, and I had to remind her I'm trying to grow the city by 10,000 families. I'm not trying to start a mass exodus out of the city of 10,000 people. But I think that we are well on our way with my fellow OBs. Water Wheel, we are making a name for Baltimore internationally, and we are well on our way to having a fishable, swimmable harbor by 2020. And I can tell you this, because of your determination and because you are the Pied Piper of the waterfront, we have a big team that's working to help us get there. So thank you so much, Laurie. Thank you so much, Mike, for all of your hard work.
One last piece before you can go back and get a drink and enjoy all the waterfront food from our restaurants, the Ocean Air, Rusty Scupper, Phillips, 1010, I know I forgot one, Doobies, and the Oyster Recovery Partnership providing the Oyster Bar. We have our first ever Harbor Hero Award we wanted to give this year. There was no dispute or even conversation about who was deserving of that award. And like the mayor said, I gave remarks she didn't need to give. She really gave a terrific testimony to Mike Hankins' leadership. For 11 years, when the recommendation, way back when the recommendation was made to create a business improvement district for the Inner Harbor, he said, no, we've got to make it bigger. It's got to go to Harbor East and Harbor Point and Fells Point. And people said, yeah, we'll create it. It takes a while. We'll create it in the next couple of years. He said, no, maybe it'll take a couple of years, but we got to get started now. And every property owner, Harbor East to Rusty Scupper, stepped forward in a voluntary way to create the organization under Mike's leadership while we work to create the Business Improvement District. And every day Mike is pushing hard to create a healthier harbor and also create cleaner streets and sidewalks. He'll call me, not just about the water wheel or Adam to find out how much trash it picked up, but he'll call to say there's cigarette butts on the promenade. He's got bold ideas and big ideas and is also focused on the ground for what people see and what people know. So we're delighted to be giving Mike Hankin our first ever Harbor Hero Award. So please join me.